Nice. We are beginning in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Self-Defense Saturdays. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Chris.
And Chris is going to read us a story coming out of Ohio, because it's not always for lovers.
Yeah, so we've got a older man shooting a younger man who broke into his home. I'm just going to go ahead and read the story like I always do, so you guys get all the information. A 74-year-old Akron homeowner Tuesday morning confronted and shot a suspected teen burglar inside of a Johnson Street home in what was described as a home invasion. The incident at the home in the 700 block of Johnson Street was called in at about 7:26 a.m. The home is in a residential neighborhood east of Route 8 in Lumiere Street, sorry for my pronunciation, west of Hamel Street. Police say that they found a 16-year-old inside the home with multiple gunshot wounds. Police gave the teen first aid until he was transported to Akron's Children's Hospital, where he was listed in a stable condition. Police said he is expected to make a full recovery and could be released in the hospital from this week. Police said the homeowner told them the teen forced his way into the house. The homeowner confronted the teen at gunpoint and fired a gun at him, striking him multiple times. Police said the homeowner was not hurt. Investigation is going on and no charges have been filed. Akron detectives are still gathering information.
Very clean cut, in my opinion. I think there's no better example of somebody's in my house and I'm gonna shoot. You know, if you're in somebody's house, you force your way in somebody's house, that's their safe place, man. We talk about this. I've mentioned it in the last couple videos. If you run any animal into a corner, they're going to attack. And for us humans, our corner is our house. That is our last place to go and run and hide to. That is where all your guards are up and all your defenses are running, especially when you're going to sleep. This man is an older gentleman, 74 years old. He's not scrapping with somebody, you know. So if I'm 74 years old, if I'm lucky enough to make it that far, I'm grabbing the 4.5 for sure. I'm got to do something to make that confrontation equal, especially to a 16-year-old kid who's not scared to break into somebody's house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a different situation on its own. And in my personal opinion, why was that kid doing this? Obviously, we don't know the home dynamics of everybody, but obviously something was lacking somewhere with that.
Absolutely.
And I am in agreement with that. Being that much of an older person, that is probably one of their, I mean, it's always the best line of defense is to have a firearm in the home. But just like you said, if I'm at that age, I'm not getting into a fist fight. I don't care what kind of good health I'm in. I've lived my life. Listen, I don't like to get into fist fights now. My first instinct isn't to draw a gun every time I'm in a confrontation, but I'm not trying to get into fist fights. And being at that age, there is no way I'm going to get into a fist fight. If you break into my home, I don't care how old you are or how many there are, the first thing I'm doing is grabbing my gun and confronting you with it. And unfortunately, it was a teenager, which we don't like to see. You know, we would like to see kids prosper and not do bad things like this, but this kid is going to learn his lesson and understand that,
it's going to be a big lesson too. And luckily enough, you know, for this guy, he's 16 years old. Hopefully that's early enough in his life to where he can straighten it up. So we did make the point about him being an older gentleman, and I'm not an older gentleman. And if you break into my house, I'm going to light you up too. It's not that you can fist fight or not. It's I don't know what you're coming in with, you know. You could be 16-year-old with a bazooka, you know. It doesn't matter your age, your physical capabilities. In this situation, it kind of shows through, because whether you're a tiny, delicate, petite woman or a smaller statured male or an older man or an older woman, everybody has physical capabilities that a pistol can make you equal to an attacker that is far more physically capable than you are.
Absolutely. Just like you said, it doesn't matter. Honestly, even if you're not anybody who would be on the smaller side, you know, a force multiplier is a force multiplier, and anybody who breaks in your home, you never know what they have. They could have it concealed on them, and honestly, there's no reason to take the chance, in my opinion. I'm never going to take the chance. If somebody breaks into my home, I might not pull the trigger the moment I see them, but I'm damn sure going to be confronting them. with
Absolutely.
that firearm. And I might try to de-escalate the situation and hold him there instead of shooting, but he's an older man.
I'm not. Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things outside of my house. If I come outside of the walls of my home to confront a situation in my yard, I may retreat back to my home. In this situation, as soon as you walk through that door uninvited, it's on.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on your side right there. I definitely see your point, and I do agree with you, but I'm not waiting. If it's outside and it's kind of outside of my hands and I can call the cops and stay in the house, I'll do that. But the second you cross that line, it's on.
So I like to make the point every video is talking about, what they did right and what they maybe did wrong. There's not really much that I can say that this man did wrong. I can say obviously the teenager did wrong, but in this instance, it's a break-in, it's a trespassing, and I don't know if Ohio is one of those 23 states that has the castle doctrine. Not that sure on it, but regardless, this man is within his rights, and he was obviously, at a disadvantage to a younger person like that. So obviously he had a reason to fear for what could be coming his way, and he shot him multiple times. Could he have gotten away with one, maybe two, instead of a few or more? Sure, who's to know? But at the same time, you're never going to be perfectly clear-headed when something like this happens. So he obviously just did what came to him, his reaction, and I think he did great. Unfortunately, it was a teenager. Unfortunately, it was an older man who had to do this, but it's also good to see that the older population is still defending themselves, because I know a lot of them could be against guns and could think that it's dangerous, and even the family could think that it's dangerous for them to have a gun in their home.
At that age too, that's something to consider, especially when you start getting into your later years or something. There's a line that you have to cross to where, hey, I don't think Pap ought to be carrying that 38 no more, you know what I'm saying? Because Pap kind of wild. So there is that kind of line, and I hope by the time I get to that point, I'm clear enough up here to where I'm still cognizant of my firearms and being able to use them and have them. I don't want to be ever in a situation to where I can't use them or have access to them because of my age.
And if you are those family members that are seeing the older generation, start to cognitively decline, and you don't think that they are capable of defending themselves with a firearm in the home, maybe make some other, if you really care, make some other preparations for them. Maybe nobody really likes to live with in-laws, or, maybe feel like they have to take care of their parents. Obviously, people love to do that because they took care of them as a child, and they want to repay that favor. But if they can't do that for whatever reason, try to make something that would make them a little bit more secure, yourself at peace of mind. Maybe move closer to them, so if something goes on, you can be there and ready.
Absolutely.
Give them something that they're not really going to do too much crazy damage with, if just to defend themselves for the time being. Make sure that they have a phone near them and they know a plan to call the police, call the family members that are coming to help, and to be able to defend themselves against physical attackers.
Absolutely. And I do want to make a point. I am very glad that this 16-year-old kid, survived. I don't want to see anybody get killed, especially such a young person, man. Like, he's 16 years old. We're almost double that, you know what I'm saying? And I know how much your brain changes from 5 years to 10 years. So this 16-year-old punk, I'll say it, he break into somebody's house, may not be the same person in 5 years. Yeah. I was a 16-year-old punk. I wasn't that much of a punk, but I definitely grew up in my years, and hopefully and thankfully this guy gets another chance at it. So I hope he straightens up, and if he don't, I hope that there's another 74-year-old guy waiting for him.
We want to thank you guys for following us, and we want to thank you for joining us for another episode of Self-Defense Saturdays. We hope you guys are enjoying this story, and like we say in every video, this website that we read these stories on is down in the description below. There's no way for us to cover all these stories. They are updating constantly. We've seen stories come out multiple times a day, so you definitely got to go check it out and read these stories if you're enjoying what we're doing here.
Guys, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what we're doing right. If you want us to start doing updates on these stories, let us know what you're interested in. The reason that we like to give y'all the whole article, even though that we can't read and may seem like we are reading at a 3rd grade level, is we want you to have the same information that we do so that you can let us know points that we miss, or if you agree or disagree with our points. So please, if you ever feel like we're missing something, or if we have an idea that just completely we just blew by, please let us know down in the comments so we can go back and, check our format, how we're doing these things.
Yeah, we would love to discuss this with you guys. If you guys have any points you want to make, we would love to talk to you about it and hopefully fix it in the next videos, or make a whole nother video about this, following up on what's going on and coming back to those points if you guys really feel like they need to be talked about.
Guys, we do have a link down in the description about our link tree. It'll take you to all of our other platforms, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere that we are, it'll send you there. We got stories on Facebook, we got reels on Instagram, all that good stuff. We're everywhere we're trying to be. So let us know what we're doing right and let us know what we're doing wrong. And always remember, guys, who's got your 6?